Well, hello, friends. Welcome back to another episode of Business Besties Live. Excited to have this conversation all about community today, Kara. I'm kind of
Yes.
fired up about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I am too. Because I think for so long I tried to do this myself, like all by myself. You too?
Yeah. All by myself.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to be all by myself. Like if I am left to my own devices, I am in trouble. Listen, I am a community girl through and through. I attribute a lot of my success actually to a building and community and putting myself in the right rooms right out of the gates. And so that's really what we're going to be talking about today, why community isn't optional. So, hello, entrepreneurs. Excited that you guys are joining us today. You are joined by myself, Mindy Baxton here, and Kara Williams, my sister in Christ, my business bestie in real life. And we come with how much experience between the two of us? Is it 27 years?
Something
There's maybe
crazy like that. It's
15 plus eight.
insane.
Yeah. Anyway, whatever that is. And boy, have we seen it all. And we really want to get into this conversation on community because the truth is, and Kara and I can attest to this both as taking over collectively 3,800 coaching calls, talking to a whole lot of women about a whole lot of things. Here's what we know to be true. You can have the tools, you can have the strategies, you can have the beautiful offers and still be really stuck. And
Yeah,
community can fix that, right? So, yeah, Kara, take it away, my
100%.
friend.
Yeah. So yeah, building it alone is super hard. And one of the biggest reasons I think that, and I think we're a lot of us entrepreneurs, we're DIYers at heart. Like we were the people who were like, I can do this. I can dig in. I can,
Yes.
learn all the things and I can do this. And so we kind of built that way. And I know for me in the beginning, for years, like my husband would come home and I would try to tell him about my day and like the frustrations or the excitement, and there was nothing. There was like no conversation back, just this glazed look in their eyes. And so whenever I shifted to finding business friends and not necessarily people that were in the same industry as me, but people that were building something like I was building and I could have those conversations, everything started changing. And
Yeah.
not only in that I felt supported and I was able to share those emotions and they were able to pour back into me, but also the networking aspect of it, because then you start reaching new people and your name gets in other people's mouths, which helps your business grow.
It's
Just had
totally
a
true.
conversation this week. I had a girl who she said she messaged me or called me one night and I was making dinner and she goes, like, she's in tears and she said, Kara, I feel all alone. I'm doing this by myself and nobody understands how frustrating it can be. And by the time that conversation was over, like we had talked about an action plan to get her unstuck. And then there was a whole referral that I did on the other side of it to put her in contact with somebody else that could make things better for her. So
Okay.
it's just knowing the right people and making the intentional effort to get to know more people.
Yeah. And when you choose, which some of you do, choose isolation, you're playing a risky game. Because again, everything rises and falls, I think, in business on your mindset.
Mhm.
Because there are days that we could run through walls, and there are days where, like I texted Kara the other day, I said, I think I'm gonna start selling pictures of my feet on the internet. And that was, of course, a joke. To which then she posted in her stories, to which then I had to share because it was funny because it is one of, and I got a lot of conversation, not a lot. I had a handful of comments. They were like, Mindy, I'm like, dude, I know you feel the same way. Like we just get in these ruts sometimes. But had I tried to do this thing alone, I would have never
Mhm.
got my business off the ground. I wouldn't have because
Mhm.
the person that I was when I first started this journey back in 2018 when I quit my full-time job is certainly not the person that I am today. And I attribute that to the masterminds I put myself in, the group coaching offers that I jumped into, the trainings that I was a part of, the community that Kara and I have created, the community that I've created with my group coaching. Like it is community, which is also what Christ has called us to, right?
Yep.
Sorry, I'm going off already on a different direction, but isolation is a risk. And that's just what I'm going to say about that.
Yeah. And you're going to grow faster
Mm.
when you are growing in community.
Yeah, of course you
Always.
will. I've heard the saying before, like you can't see the picture when you're standing in the frame. Yeah. You can't see the trees where you're standing. Can't see the forest where I don't know. I always get
For
them
the
wrong.
trees.
But anyways, you see what I'm saying though? I think what's cool in getting into, really what community actually does for your business. people can call out, like we kind of talked about this on our last episode. People can call out the greatness that they see in you. They can see the gifting that you have. Some of these women that are in my life, I'm so blessed and thankful for, because they can see and call out the gifting in you that you might not see very well,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
Which
And
which is
sometimes, we talk a lot about, sometimes you just want to quit. Sometimes it's you need a pivot.
yeah.
And it's the community of people that you're surrounding yourself with and what they're saying to you that helps you recognize the gifts and the talents that the Lord has given you and where you should pivot.
Yeah.
I mean, gosh, 2 years ago, I had it was from a conversation I had with Mindy. Like, we on one call talked about, "Kara, this is not the right business," and she helped me identify what I was really good at, and I didn't even realize it. It was just it came natural to me.
Yeah.
And it it became my business that I do now and I love. And now I
Yeah.
get to hear people, every day that are like, "Oh my gosh, you have helped me more than I couldn't do that in the business that I was trying to force
Mhm.
something that was just not in my wheelhouse or personality."
Yeah. I want to go back to something that you said, and I think that all of us, well, not all of us, many of us entrepreneurs, I think can relate to. And I'm curious for those of you listening or watching this that, when your husband's maybe come home for the day, you're working from home, doing your thing, and you do get excited about something that you're launching. Or you did make some sales today and you're just fired up about it. Or you were on a really great training and you want to share some of the knowledge that you learned. And he is completely, like Kara said, like eyes glazed over, blacked out, doesn't know. Like, that's my husband. He's an employee. He does really well at his job and he likes to work for corporate. I like corporate to me is a cancer. Like I can't do it. I just can't do it. And so they don't understand and they don't get it. And the challenges that we face as entrepreneurs on the daily, employee mindset workers don't understand it. And God bless them. They shouldn't. They don't know. We're weirdos with wired brains that are created for, I mean, we think we can change the world and by golly, we're going to. Like if we
Right.
can help it, they don't get it. And that's okay. That's why you need community, right?
Yeah. Yep, for sure. Because I mean, goodness, even like my good friends outside
Yeah.
of
They
business
don't get
are
it.
like, "I don't understand what" I hear this all the time. "Kara, I still don't know what you do. I don't know what you do. It
Yeah.
doesn't make sense to me," because they don't work in the online space, so they don't understand, like, courses and memberships and digital offers and selling online. That none of that makes sense, so I can try to tell them, but they're
Yeah,
like, "What? I go to work every day and the pharmacy and make good money, and then I come home. Can't do it.
I know. I
Can't
know.
do it."
I get it. And I think, something to be said too that it was something I heard a long while back. And this is very, very true that you will rise or sink to the level of the people around you. This is said in many other ways that I could totally butcher. Yes, I'm really good at that. But it's very true. When you get in some of these rooms, where the community is, it's a community of, we love Jesus Christ. This is our rock, our foundation that we build everything on. Kara and I just love the Lord. And so that is our number one. So you get around Christian Bible believing entrepreneurs again, like look out because where it's going to be time to lift you up, to come alongside you, to sharpen each other's iron. I mean, hope is contagious. It is, and our hopes in the Lord. And I just think that, again, without community, and let me add to this too. This is so so true. I love that I'm not the smartest person in the room, that I don't know everything. Kara is extremely smart, but she doesn't know everything either. And
Yeah.
so when you get around other women, like you just never know who you might learn what from. And I think that's again the power of community, right? The body of Christ. Everybody's body part does something different, but it all is so equally important in community, wouldn't you say, Kara?
Yeah, 100%, and allowing yourself to be okay with continually learning is gonna get you so much further
Yeah,
faster. I mean, when I go even in our mastermind, when I go into that room, I'm learning from all of the other ladies at the same time, and we're sharing resources and we're sharing, things that maybe I've heard in a mastermind or read an article about, and we're sharing those things so that we can bring those other people along
yeah,
and help them get to success quicker,
yep.
help them make the changes that they need to and see the blocks that they don't even see.
Right. And to that point too, it shortens the learning curve.
Mhm.
It totally shortens the learning curve. I mean, you can spend as much time as you want reading all the books and going through all the trainings and doing this solo and doing it by yourself, and God willing, you survive it.
Mhm.
Or you can put yourself into community and likely, instead of having to Google everything, go, guys, this is what's happening. Does anybody know how you XYZ? All of a sudden, boop, yep, I got it right here for you. Right. I experienced that last year. I did a deep dive into it, and here's what I found. Like it does, it shortens the learning curve, which I think is, I don't know, just another incredible
Phenomenal.
value to it, you know?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
100%.
And, I want to just take a minute too. Let's talk real quick, Kara, too, about we've got Unstuck and Unstoppable launching next week, Monday. Next week, Monday. This is airing on the 10th of June, and next week, Monday is the 15th. We are kicking off Unstuck and Unstoppable. That is our foundational 5-day boot camp that anybody, if you're selling anything, right? Anything online, this is a really, really, really great opportunity for you to get some foundations. Carrie, do you want to just give them the quick overview of kind of what that 5 days looks like?
Yeah. So Mindy and I, we took collectively 3,800 coaching calls. We talked to hundreds of entrepreneurs and we identified some big gaps in the learning and in what they understood as far as running an online business. And so what we did was we created just a 5-day boot camp so that we could plug those holes so that you could identify where you were struggling and likely what the cause was. And there's homework to go with each night
Yeah.
so that you could implement right away and you can start seeing changes in your business right away. And just understanding some of the foundations. For example, we talk a lot about the cart, the course before the horse, right? So a lot of people are creating products or digital courses or whatever, but they're not creating an audience at the same time. So when they actually get their product ready to sell, they've got no one to sell to. That's one of the things that we talk about and we deep dive into. We also talk about what is your income goal and then what product suite do you have to fill that? And what mix of those products do you need to sell and to what size audience? And
Yeah.
really looking at those things so that you can look at your business from a data perspective. We talk so much about data, friends, so much about data
Yeah.
because we cannot operate our business from feelings. It has to come from data. So we kind of just go deep into all of the data and all of the foundations that you need to build so that you can run a successful, sustainable long-term business.
Yeah. Yeah, so good. Thanks for sharing that. I appreciate it. So, you guys, if you're looking again for foundations and you're feeling kind of stuck in your business right now, and maybe you do want to get in some rooms with some awesome, awesome women, you are, and men are welcome too. But listen, you're unstuck and unstoppable. The wait list, it's open right now. You can register now, comment the word unstuck, or just like scroll through the description of this video or the show notes, wherever you're watching this from, and find the link for call to activate uh, unstuck. I think it's summer edition. You'll see the link down
Yeah.
there, but really excited to kind of take you guys through the foundations and then also kind of consider the season that we're in.
Mhm.
Super busy. We want to have fun. We are all about building our businesses around our lives. Like Kira the mom and I'm a mom and we got lots going on just like you do. And we want to really help you guys think about how can we stay consistent over the summer months so we can get into quarter 4 and just crush it by the end of the year. So anyways,
Yeah.
all that said, just want to open that invitation to that. What
Yeah,
else,
and I
Kara?
wanna say it's very, very practical. Everything you're gonna hear during Unstuck and Unstoppable and the homework and all that, it's very, very practical. We had ladies that were making sales the end of the first by the end of the first day of that they did their homework
Yeah.
because it unlocked some things in their business that they didn't realize they were neglecting. And even Mindy and I have issues with our foundation sometimes. Like we
Yeah.
have to circle back. So there's not going to be anything that we talk about that Mindy and I have completely nailed. It's things that we have to consistently keep up with and keep that the cogs rolling.
Yeah. Yeah. And I want you to think about this too, my friends, that again, I want you to think about the cost of waiting, still continuing to work in isolation in your business, or still continuing to not put yourselves in the room. We priced it at $47 for a reason. We wanted it to be affordable for you guys. We also wanted to give you a VIP option. If you want to get in, like this is my favorite part of, the boot camps and the trainings that I've done is paying for that extra bonus to get the replays, but also get to talk to the person one-on-one to say, okay, here's what's going on with my business. And this is the questions that I have for you. And Kara and I are happy to help bang it out. And what I love about it too, is that again, Kara really can come from like the tactical and technical side of things when it comes to workflows and email lists and nurture sequences. And then I can come in too alongside her with the mindset and the messaging. And I mean, I've built on social, primarily just on my personal Facebook profile for the last 7, 8, almost 8 years,
Mhm.
building very successful sales teams and selling a whole lot of product. And so you get the best of both worlds. And so again, I just encourage you guys, Unstuck and Unstoppable. It's going to be fantastic. And that is actually, I'm going to segue into the next part. That is a precursor, I think is the right word, to get into our mastermind, which is called to Activate. Now, Kara, do you want to just kind of tell them call to Activate we put together? I mean, we called it that for a reason, but share with them a little bit of that accountability piece and kind of how we built out call to Activate as the next step.
Yeah. So I will say, let me back up for just a second. The VIP option,
Yeah.
when Mindy said you get to come in and ask questions, you don't just get to come in and ask questions, but you also get to hear other people's questions, which then
Right.
you realize, oh gosh, that applies to me too.
Mm,
And so that room, the last time we did this, it was so powerful, the conversations that were had in that room. Like, we took whatever we talked about that night, and then we dove deeper based on each person's business, and it was relatable to everyone because applying it to one business, you just apply it in a different way to another business. So I
yep.
do wanna say that. But what we found was the ladies who were making the progress were showing up on coaching calls when we were coaching. And so the ones that weren't, they would go, they would come to a coaching call and then go a few months and they would come back and they would be just so defeated and we'd have to talk them off the ledge. So this group is a weekly accountability group. And so you get to come and ask your questions, whatever has you stuck, but we're only giving you what you need to work on for the next 7 days. And then
Yeah.
you come back and you let us know how that went and where you're struggling now. And we plan out the next 7 days. So
Yeah.
what we saw a lot of ladies do was they were like, I need to show up 5 times a week on my socials. I need to grow my email list. I need to create a freebie. I need to be recording my course. Too much. Divided focus was getting them nowhere. So what we did was we scaled it back and said, listen, it is a weekly accountability. We want to know, we want to get to know your business so well that we want to know what your future goals look like so
Yes.
that we can start helping you implement baby steps week after week so that you can actually make progress toward that because you're not
Yeah.
going to do it drinking from a fire hose.
Nope. Nope. Yeah. So there's that. So again, Unstuck and Unstoppable, call to Activate. Last thing, and I not to just bombard you guys with things, but I also got to talk about the retreat. Like Kara and I mean, man, this retreat has been something that we thought about, prayed about, and it's actually coming together here in August, which is going to be here before we know it too. I think we've still got a few spots available for it. Kara, if you want to kind of touch on a little bit about that retreat. And then again, you guys, links to everything will be in the show notes wherever you're watching this from. So check out the links in the description. But yeah,
Yeah.
tell me a little bit about that.
So one of the things that I tend to struggle with when I go to like conferences and retreats and things is not making those intentional friendships and those relationships. I would go and I would absorb all the knowledge and then I would walk away and be like, man, I was just in a room with, 20 people and I didn't really get to know any of them. And so our retreat is actually going to be very focused on retreat, refresh, and refocus. We've rented
Yeah.
this cute little house on the side of a mountain. There's a really cool big hot tub. Like
Beautiful.
everything is
Oh,
curated for conversations
yeah.
and for relationship building. We will be doing some business, but we will also be doing some worship. We will have devotionals each day. You can come and stay in your pajamas pretty much the entire weekend if you want and just fellowship with friends, make some new friends. But you will have time each day. We'll do a mini lesson and then we'll also have time to work on each person's business.
It's going to be awesome. So again, you guys, thank you for any other closing thoughts, Kara. I just, again, I can't stress community enough. I just
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and that's what we really want with this is just a casual place where you're going to be able to come and fellowship with some other women, make some new business besties because friends having the lifelines, like me being able to text Mindy and be like, dude, I'm having the worst day, or her telling me that she wants to sell pictures of her feet because she's had a bad day. Like those conversations are so important because
Yeah.
that other person can not only talk you off the ledge, they can pray for you and they can ask you the next day, hey, friend, how are you doing? Did you paint your toenails so that we can actually get those pictures today? I think is what I asked her yesterday.
Man, yeah. Yeah. Kara, I'm so grateful for you. Again, without community, I will tell you guys this, I probably would have given up a long time ago. because
Mm.
well, the enemy just doesn't want us to do what we're doing. And he's going to come at us and cause the chaos and cause the doubt and cause all those things. But again, when you're surrounded with Christian sisters, entrepreneurs who get it, they get
Mhm.
it. And they're there to help you. And that's what we're here to help you do as well. So hopefully we'll get to see you guys in one of our communities sooner than later. But thanks for tuning in to Business Besties Live. We will catch you again, same time, same place next week. Until then, take care. God bless. Bye.